Hi there, I am Stephanie SCHAEFER, and I am going to be playing the client, Lucinda Mott.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Moser, and I'm going to be playing the role of the audiologist. Hello, Lucinda.
Hi.
My name is Jennifer Moser, and I'm your audiologist.
Okay.
Now that we have completed your hearing evaluation, we are going to go over the test results.
Okay, sounds good.
Starting with otoscopy, we looked in your ears to see if there's any impacted earwax or any debris that might be affecting your hearing.
Okay.
What we found was your ears to be in normal limits.
Is that good?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Within normal limits.
Wonderful.
Then we did tympanometry to see if there might be any perforation of your eardrum or any fluid coming out that might be affecting your hearing.
Okay.
And what we found was for your middle ear system to be functioning within normal limits.
Awesome.
Tympanometry type was type A.
Okay.
Now I'm going to show you your audiogram, which is a graphed representation of what sounds that you hear at various pitches, at various levels of loudness, and how that falls on the graph.
Okay.
For the left ear, we use blue ink to show your hearing.
Okay.
And then for the right ear, we use red ink.
That makes sense.
In the left ear, it shows a normal to moderate severe hearing loss, while in the right ear, it shows a normal to moderate hearing loss.
Okay.
Your audiogram shows a binaural hearing loss, as we discussed. The configuration is notched in the higher frequencies, and this reflects a sensorineural hearing loss.
Okay.
This means that the sounds that do reach your ear are not being transmitted all the way to your brain because there's possible damage to the hearing organ.
Okay.
We expect your binaural hearing loss to be treatable.
Wonderful.
To give you a better idea of what sounds are represented in different parts of the audiogram, I'm going to show you a speech banana.
Okay.
And it is a graphed representation of sounds in the shape of a U or a banana. And the sounds in the higher frequencies, like fricatives, which are Fs and S's and THs, are ones that are usually harder to hear if you have a hearing loss in the high frequency range.
Oh, okay. So that's why I can't hear those sounds.
Yes, like your hearing loss reflects a loss in the higher frequency range. The test type we did was called standard procedures.
Okay.
And that is when I put the headphones on you and we tested your hearing at different frequencies and at different levels of loudness.
Okay.
And that's how I graphed the audiogram.
Okay.
I want to thank you for listening to the directions and for following them.
Definitely.
Another part of your test was to see what your pure tone average was. And your pure tone average is determined from the frequencies of 500, 1000, and 2000 hertz.
Okay.
And at each of those levels, we look at where your ears were graphed on the audiogram for each ear.
So it's the average of what I can hear.
Yes.
Cool.
At those frequencies. At 500 hertz, you were able to hear 5 decibels at 5 decibels in the left ear and at 10 decibels in the right ear. At 1000, you're able to hear at 10 decibels for the left ear and at 15 decibels for the right ear. And at 2000 hertz, you were able to hear at 50 decibels for the left and the right ears.
Okay.
So when we average these numbers together, your pure tone average for the right ear was 25 decibels, and your pure tone average for the left ear was 21.67 decibels.
Okay.
The next test we did was to see what your speech recognition threshold was, or your speech reception threshold, commonly referred to as SRT.
Okay.
These are, remember when I presented words to you such as cowboy, baseball, hot dog, downtown?
Yes.
Two syllabic words. And this was your ability to identify the words or repeat them to me as the decibel decreased.
Okay.
As the decibel rate decreased. Your SRT for the right ear was 35, and for the left ear was 30 decibels. The final aspect of your speech audiometry was your word recognition ability.
Okay.
And that was your ability to identify monosyllabic words, materials. And we took from the NU6 list, the NU6, and
so that was the test that I took?
Yes.
That's what it was called?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And your ability for both ears was 50 decibels.
Okay.
And for the right ear, it was 70%, and for the left ear, it was 72%.
So I got 70% right?
About.
Oh.
Yes.
And 72% right?
Yes.
Oh. Those are not passing grades. Sounds like I might need hearing aids.
I think that's what our next step is going to be.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the steps that we have as far as fitting you for hearing aids and coming back and seeing what type of hearing aid would be best for you.
Yeah.
And for your activities and for your hearing loss as it is.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi there, I am Stephanie SCHAEFER, and I am going to now be playing the part of the audiologist for Activity 2.
And I'm Jennifer Moser, and I'll be playing the role of Lucinda Mott, the patient.
All right, so Lucinda, as we discussed earlier, we decided that you are going to be a great candidate for hearing aids. We know that you're going to be a great candidate because of your motivation and how you are committed to helping yourself and improving your hearing experience. And so, and also getting the assistance from your son to get here to the clinic and continue to research all this. That motivation shows that you are going to do very well with your hearing aids.
Yes.
So what I am going to talk about now is how you have a binaural hearing loss, which is in both ears. And so unfortunately, that does mean that we're going to need to give you hearing aids for both ears. If money is an issue, we will be able to discuss that further. We will work with your insurance, and there are other options and types of almost scholarship things in the area that you can apply for to get assistance in paying for your hearing aids.
That sounds wonderful.
Awesome. Okay, so for your binaural hearing loss in both of your ears, I've kind of thought about two different types of hearing aids. The first type of hearing aid that I was thinking about was the receiver in the ear. So this goes right behind your ear. It hooks behind your ear, and it has the speaker right in your ear so that it amplifies that sound and really helps you hear what's going on around you. This one I liked a lot because it actually matches your hair color really well. That way people don't see it so obviously. And as you said earlier, cosmetic appeal is an interest for you. So that's good. Another one that I looked into for you is the open fit. Okay? Open fit does not have the speaker in the ear, so it's a little bit less technology in this tubing, but it still works similarly and functions similarly. It goes behind your ear as well, and then just slides right into your ear. It's also very good for cosmetic appeal because there is less technology that's right in the tubing. It does fit nice behind your ear. And again, this part of the hearing aid does match your hair color again. So it's nice and small, works really well, that kind of thing. I was leaning towards the receiver in the ear a little bit because it's great for people who have higher frequency losses. So again, referring to that speech banana, you don't have your hearing right around here. And so that is where it can kind of assist you in again.
Okay.
So I also chose these two types of hearing aids because you are highly motivated. And so I know that you would be comfortable learning how to take care of these hearing aids. You would be comfortable getting used to them and practicing with them. You'd be motivated to let them assist you and to help you do the best that you can. And so that's one or a couple of the reasons why I think one of these two types of hearing aids would work really well for you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Do you feel comfortable looking into these two types of hearing aids now?
I do, considering that the receiver in the ear has the speaker
Mhm.
in the ear. Does that mean that it has less feedback for?
It does, yes,
Okay.
that is true. It has less feedback because the receiver or that speaker is away from the microphone.
Okay.
Whereas this one, they are closer together, but it is still great technology to help you hear, and it is a little bit less expensive as well. So that is something we can take into consideration.
Okay. I look forward to looking into both options
Awesome.
and seeing which one fits best with my budget. And yeah.
Fantastic. Hi there, I am Stephanie SCHAEFER, and I am playing the audiologist again for Activity 3.
My name is Jennifer Moser, and I'm going to be playing Lucinda Mott for Activity 3, the patient.
Okay, Lucinda, so I'm glad that we discussed all of this stuff and talked about the type of hearing aid that we have concluded would be the best for you. I am proud to say that we picked the receiver in the ear, which is cosmetically appealing. It's great for your type of hearing loss because it helps with those frequencies that are in the higher range. So that's great. And it will have less occlusion, so it won't block your ear. It will still allow you to naturally hear some of the sounds that you still hear right now.
Okay.
So that's really great. Now, I know that your insurance is going to help you with paying for this, and you also are qualified to take benefit from the assistance program here in town.
Oh,
so that's wonderful
that
too.
is.
So paying for this is not going to be as difficult as we thought it might be. So wonderful on that. Okay, so some of the different parts of the device that you're going to need to identify in the future are, first of all, the battery door and the battery. So when you pull the battery door open, that is where you will find the battery. You'll just stick the battery in, and that's what will help power your device. At night, when you take this off to go to sleep, I will recommend that you open that battery door to let it air out and let your device rest.
Okay.
So that's the great way to keep it going. Another thing about this device is the volume control. That's something we will program later on, which I'll talk about in a bit. We're going to program it so that when you click the button up, it will raise the volume up, and when you click the button down, it will raise or lower the volume down. That will be good because then you can modify it to what you need at that very moment.
Okay.
So some of these little dots you see are actually the microphones. That's where the sound enters the device so that it can be amplified later on, which the amplifier is inside the device. So it will turn it into electronic sound. It will make it louder and larger, and then that is what will go through the receiver and speaker into your ear canal. So that's really awesome. So again, those microphones are right here, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. Here's that tubing. That's where some of the technology is. It helps guide that sound all the way down to the receiver, which is also called a speaker, and that is what sends that final sound into your ear. It is protected by a plastic dome, which you'll see a little bit of later on. That's the plastic piece that holds it into your ear. It's kind of squishy, and so it won't hurt your ear while it's in there. So that's awesome.
Will I get replacement domes if I lose one?
Yes.
Or it falls out?
Yep.
Or?
They come with a lot of replacement domes, and then also we can sell you even more, and then more are available even at some hearing stores in the area, like batteries and hearing aid stores.
Mm-hmm.
And so also over the internet as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so fun fact on cleaning these things, I have a brush here. And so one of the great ways is you can see that little hook on the brush. You can take that hook and carefully put it inside the microphone to get out any dead skin cells or any earwax or debris that may have gotten into the microphone. Sometimes it doesn't, the sound coming from your hearing aids don't sound as great because those things are not as clean. And so that's why keeping it clean is very important. So you will be able to just scoop all that out, and I recommend doing it as often as needed, even daily if you'd like to do that. Okay. We also have on this side of the brush, the brush. And so you can just brush off any of the debris that you see. That's a great way to keep it clean, to keep anything from getting all gross, that kind of thing. I do not recommend that you get this wet. If it's raining out, I do recommend that maybe if you need to walk in the rain, do not wear them or cover them up. Don't wear them in the shower. That's also not recommended. Okay, so a couple of other tips that I have for you is I know that you mentioned that your son has a dog and a cat. Well, unfortunately, dogs and cats love the smell and taste of hearing aids. And so it's important to keep it away from them so that first they don't choke on that. And then also your pieces of technology don't get ruined, that kind of thing. They just really like the smell for some reason. And so it's just good to keep it up and higher so that your pets can't get to them, that kind of thing. Okay. So as well, in addition to that, at night, maybe keeping your hearing aids in what we call dry aid, which is just a kind of, it's a container that has material in it that helps prevent moisture from staying inside of your hearing aid. That way it can function to the best of its abilities. Okay. We will give you a sample of that when you're leaving with the hearing aid. Okay. Now, another thing I do want to talk about is the importance of wearing hearing protection when you are at those DCI concerts for your granddaughter. I know that going to those are so important to you, and hearing it is also very important.
Yes.
But we want to protect your hearing. So when you go to those concerts, be sure to wear hearing protection, like earplugs, rather than your hearing aids. They don't work as hearing protection. They only work as amplification. So we want to keep your hearing or your hearing ability safe right now, that kind of thing. So, okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Another couple of tips that you should know is don't wear or don't spray hairspray when you're wearing them, just in case. So you don't want to create a film on your hearing aids, that kind of thing. Then they get sticky and kind of gross. So I don't recommend that. And then don't leave them in the hot sun. I know that you wouldn't do that, but I just want to tell everybody to remember, don't put them on the dashboard of your car or anything like that. You want to make sure that they are kept generally cool, that kind of thing. Okay? They can melt, unfortunately.
Yes.
Also, if you are having any issues and let's say they're just not working right, something's wrong, try cleaning your device, like with the tips that we've discussed. Check your battery as well. See if it is dead. If the battery is dead, try a new battery. Okay? You can also check the tubing of your piece. So right around here on this picture, sometimes the tubing can get a little clogged as well. And so if you have a hard time cleaning that out, you can always come talk to me. And then right around here, there's also a filter that prevents any earwax or debris from getting into the tubing. Sometimes stuff gets past that filter. That's why the tubing would be a little gross. And so checking that filter, maybe replacing the filter, is a great way to help keep it clean and keep it working and functional.
Okay.
Okay. Wonderful. So we do have a trial period here at the clinic. The trial period is for a month long. However, if you need longer, the great news is we have the ability to talk to the manufacturer that made your hearing aids to extend that period and say, she needs a little bit longer to just really test these out. They work with us really well. So that's what we'll keep in communication with the manufacturer about.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay. So the last thing that I'm going to talk about is just the programming and that consistent use of those hearing aids. So we'll program these hearing aids with my computer. I will plug it into the computer and we'll modify it based on what your needs are and what you prefer. We can modify it as time goes and as you get more used to it. And that's why consistent use is so important. It just helps your ears and your brain practice using these hearing aids and using them to the full advantage. Okay.
Will you be able to tell how long I've been wearing the hearing aids?
I will. Now, when you shut that battery door, that's when your hearing aid records the time that it's being used. And so when I plug it in, it will tell me, she only used it for 2 hours. And so we want to build it up. It's okay if you start with 2 hours on day one and then go from there and get more and more, building it on that experience and going from easy listening situations like at home with your son to harder listening situations like at a loud restaurant with your son, that kind of thing, or even with a waiter, a foreign person that you haven't spoken with before.
It can be difficult.
It really can. Okay, and so finally, I just wanted to address just some concerns about inconsistent use. I like to communicate this to my clients just so they know exactly how to take the full advantage out of this technology in these first upcoming months. So using it inconsistently, meaning only a couple of hours a day or every other day, or just staying on just those couple of hours a day, is pretty inconsistent, and it doesn't help build up your brain's ability to process and utilize the information that the hearing aid is providing your brain, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And so it's very important to start training your brain so that when we do come to deciding time, the decision of whether or not to fully select these hearing aids for you, we know, if you use them consistently, we will know, hey, these hearing aids worked great. Her brain is trained and ready to keep working on using these hearing aids, versus if we're using them inconsistently, that's when your brain kind of gets a little confused and has a harder time of being trained and understanding how to utilize those hearing aids. So then the trial period ends and we don't know, do these hearing aids work perfectly for her? Do they really help her? And are they being used to their full extent? That kind of thing. And so we want you to fully benefit from these hearing aids.
I understand.
Wonderful. Awesome. Your motivation for helping yourself and taking advantage of this program and all of this is really impressive. And I'm so glad that you're doing it and that you are going to really pursue this, that kind of thing. Okay?
Well, thank you for all your help today.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It was so great working with you, Lucinda.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Thank you.